Hari Om. We'll start again. Start with the 3 Oms and Sahanavatu and Guru Stotram. Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Stotram. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Yaptam Yatkim Chissacharacharam Tatpadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. Tomorrow is in fact Guru Purnima. We are starting a series of talks on application of Bhagavad Gita in our daily life. Because there are a lot of questions people ask, particularly in some Advaitin lists. Since we understand Gita, we understand the Upanishads, but how do we apply, how to be in that all the time? So it's important for us to not only understand it, but apply in our day-to-day life. Because once the class is over, we are back to our routine. And how do we put that knowledge that we have gained in the class in our daily life so that we have the memory of it and also application of it if it is relevant? So this series of talks involves some spiritual exercises so that we can deliberately, consciously put this until it becomes our true nature, until it becomes a normal for us. So until then, a sadhana is required. And so essentially, abhyasena and vairagyena. Abhyasa is by practice, we have to reach this. And vairagya is, in the process, we have to give up certain wrong notions about ourselves, about the world. Now, in our daily life, we being a social animal, we are dealing with all things in the world. Number one, there are various varieties of things that we encounter, and we are getting into situations where me and the things and some situation there we need to solve a problem. And in the process, we are also encountering people, human beings with their own agenda in life and their own attitudes, and what should be our attitude in dealing with them, because we cannot but deal with them. So if you look at our daily life, so morning to evening, if you look back, what have been doing? So we get up in the morning and do all our kalakrutyas, the daily routines that we do, including the brushing our teeth and so on. We'll have breakfast, I'll go to office and lunch in between, and again interact with the people and come back home and whatever the socialization and dinner and perhaps sleep, or watch TV and spend a lot of time in front of the TV and get tired and go to sleep. This seems to be our daily routine. Things may be a little bit different today or a little bit different tomorrow, but in essence, this is the essence of our life. So if you look back today, this is all essentially what we have done. If you look back yesterday, this is essentially what we have done in the past. So essentially it's the same thing again and again, repeating more or less. So daily getting up, having breakfast, go to office, dealing with the people, dealing with the situations, and in the process we are trying to gather some happiness out of it. And in encountering, we always encounter a lot of problems also. So in our life, day to day, we're trying to solve all sorts of problems. So if you look at all types of problems that we get into, say there will be financial problems, may have health problems, we have situations, we are people we are dealing with, some are impossible to deal with, some are possible, and all these managing things are always continuously occurring. So what is this different from yesterday and day before yesterday, day before yesterday, last month or last year, something? If you look back, there is not really much different. A small achievements here, small achievements there, but in the flow of time that is forgotten, and we will be continuously working and working and working. What for? We cannot but work. So life itself involves an action, where I cannot but encounter people, and I am not pre-programmed, so I have some intellect to do things, not to do things, or do it another way. So seems to be some choice. In fact, I have no choice but to exercise choice, and in this choice I try to exercise a choice based on my knowledge and what needs to be done for a given situation, depending upon what my likes and dislikes are. And in the process, the results, since the results do not depend on me, because I am not omniscient to dictate the results, so I have to depend on results, on the circumstances, on the situations, on different peoples, on my expectations of people, and sometimes they don't meet my expectations, sometimes I don't meet my own expectations in terms of trying to accomplish something, and the life struggles goes on. So on the end of this, nothing really accomplished, but whole time is gone. So Shankaracharya says, Dineya minyau sayam prataha shashira vasantau punarayataha kala kridati gacchatyayuhu tadapina pinchatyashavayuhu. So day has come, day has gone, the same thing and the same getting repeated in one form or other with small changes. And we have seasons coming, summer is over, the fall is coming, the fall is over, winter is coming, winter is over, spring again. All this continuously rotating. The years have gone and gone, one after the other. So if you look back, what have we really accomplished? Same thing again and again and again and again. There is a sloka in the Bhartruhari sloka. It says, the Ayurvarsha nunam sedam parimitam ratrau tadardham gadam tasyardhasya parasya chardam aparam balasya ruddhasya yoho sesham vyadhi viyoga dukkha sahitam sevadhivir niyate jive vari taranga budbhuta same saukhyam kutapraninam. So Ayurvarsha nunam sedam parimitam. Say suppose we are given, not even that, suppose we are given 100 years of life, around that 100. Ayurvarsha nunam sedam parimitam ratrau tadardhangatam. Half of the time essentially goes away to tonight where we can't do much, we'll be tired, we will be sleeping. So Ratrau, 50 years are gone. Ratrau tadardham gatam. Sasyardhasya parasya chardhamaparam balastha ruddhasva yoho. And the remaining 50 years, half of that 50 years, that is 25 years, is gone in the balastha and ruddhasva, in growing up and also in becoming old, in the old age where we cannot do much. And in the young age we can't do because we don't have the stamina also and the education and all in order to accomplish anything. So that 25 years are gone, and only in the remaining 25 years says what is that we can do. Balastha ruddhastuyo sesham vyadhi vyoga dukkha sahitam sevadi virniyate. The remaining 25 years, sometime goes for we are sick sometimes, we are working all the time, or for the employment, or we are running around. All this remaining 25 years, it's all gone. Jive vari taranga buddhutatme saukhyam puta praninam. So we are trying to achieve what is that we are want to achieve. We want to be happy. Everyone is doing what they want, not they want God or they want this or they want moksha. All they want is they want eternal, unlimited happiness. That's what we are striving for. Whether you are religious, whether you believe in Gita or not, whether you are a Christian or a Hindu or whatever religion, or even an atheist, what does he want? He wants to be happy. And all the life struggles are to gain that happiness because we have concluded that we are not happy as we are. And therefore we are trying to achieve something. So by achieving something we are going to be happy. But if you look back, are we happy to whatever we have achieved, whatever we wanted, we got it, and are we happy? So therefore, the question remains, still we feeling ourselves, we need something else in order to be happy. Therefore, we feel we are still inadequate with what we have. We want to be adequate person so that we have everything that we want, so that we are going to be happy with the situation. And looks like nobody is going to reach that state. But yet, the struggle to become full seems to be going on. So the life is continuous, and continuously we are struggling hard. One day we kick the bucket without achieving what we want to achieve. What do we want to achieve? We want unlimited, eternal, absolute happiness that we want. So that there is no more wanting mind, there is no more desiring mind, there is no more longing mind that I want to be happy because I am already happy. That state can only be achieved by completely full. That means I have everything that I want. There is nothing more. That means I have infiniteness. I have everything that is then. In that case, there is nothing else that can be added because I am already having infinite. Not that I can have infinite, but that is the goal. And I cannot gain that infinity by any process, because by any process which is finite, I cannot get infinite. So therefore, the life itself seems to be a struggle, but yet we have to live. So we need how we can live in such a way that we can reach that state of understanding where what the Gita is trying to point out in our daily life. This is the purpose of these talks. So who can benefit out of these talks? Those who want to achieve something, who want to achieve and learn, and also apply the Gita in such a way that we can achieve what we want. Because the Gita itself is essentially states, it is essence of Upanishads. It says Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam and Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade. So that's what in every end of the chapter, this is what this is. Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidya. It contains Brahma Vidya. Brahman means infinite. It is the knowledge of infinity itself, how to gain that knowledge or how to become infinite, if you want to put quote unquote. And it is also Yoga Shastra. Not only picturizes, tells exactly what is the nature of that Brahman, but also how I can accomplish from where I am. That's what is yoga. Yoga is yoking my mind to that state of understanding by step process through the yoga. And that is what is the Gita. So application of Gita involves having the knowledge of the Gita, then only I can apply. Otherwise I cannot apply the knowledge. So we should have some knowledge of what exactly Gita is. So in the series of talks, we would refer to Gita in terms of what is essentially Gita is trying to tell us, how to live our life also in such a way that we can achieve what we are trying to achieve. Now, before we go into those details of how Gita presents itself in terms of our life, what are the purpose of life itself, we will first look at our own lives. Says, where are we now? Because it is a Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra means from where I am, I had to hook to that higher state. So I should know where I am. So how am I going to know where I am? So let's first, as an exercise, spiritual exercise, we start with trying to find out where we are. That means analyzing ourselves, what is our state of mind. So for that, we look back, since whole life we lived, whatever life we have, for everyone, we have to look back in terms of what was that we have accomplished in this life. Because if we are going to do the same thing will continue only. So therefore, first we need to know what we have been doing to evaluate ourselves so that we can either alter our goals or redirect our mind in such a way that we can achieve what we want to achieve. So in this talk, we are going to give two exercises. The first exercise is write down essentially each one, your autobiography. Autobiography? Yes. Start from now, right now, today, by the end of this week, before the next class starts, I prepare myself my own biography in the past, from the past. That means from my childhood, whatever I remember, I start writing down. Don't worry about whether you can write or not. Whatever that comes to you, whatever you remember, start putting down in writing. When you put it down writing, it crystallizes exactly what you have really accomplished, what is that you really remember, what is that you have success that you have achieved, what are the goals you had in mind, what were your likes at that time, in each state of your evolution from the childhood on that you remember, what was those goals at that time that you say, I wanted to receive a degree in this or a degree in that or a course in that or achieve this or achieve that. All those things that you can put down, whatever that your goals at that time are, and what did you do in order to achieve it, and who are the people who help you, what are the circumstances that help you, or what are the circumstances that obstructed your goal itself, how you encounter, how you overcome it, or how you failed because of those obstacles. And to what extent you are happy or what extent you are unhappy also. If the extent happiness from your own source or because of other people's interactions, or the situations are such that nobody can help. So all that you can write it down in such a way that looking back your own life, and doesn't matter what order you put, as long as you start writing down step by step as you grow from the childhood on up to what you are now. So this is the first exercise. This biography is for your own, not to show, need not show anybody, so that you can be honest with yourself. If you are dishonest to yourself, you are the one who is going to suffer the consequence of it. Because I want to grow, so with that, if you have that idea, then prepare yourself. What is that I have accomplished so far? Yes, I grew up, I met these people, yes, I went through this school, I went to this school or that school, this school, or in between I got a graduation, or I got a job, I married, I have a child. I'm trying to, all this you can write down in whatever form, that whatever you have accomplished in this life and didn't accomplish, wanted to accomplish, also all that you can write it down. We will revise it later, but first thing is to write down whatever comes in terms of the This is the most important thing at this, because I should know what I have done, what I couldn't do, what is my state of mind in all these things. And the process is essentially because what I thought is important, if you look back most of the time, you find that it was not that important now. Because at that time that was very important, that is, the whole life is on that. But once accomplished that one, now you had some other goals. So the goals keep changing, but now your attitude of the mind has to be examined. Says that is only important you are trying to achieve. But in every achievement after that, you are still left behind as an inadequate person, as you are seeing. There are problems that are unsurmountable at that time also. You can state those things also, because you are now preparing yourself how I am going to solve a future problem, or with what attitude I have to develop myself in such a way that I can still achieve in spite of all my limitations. That's the whole purpose of the exercise. I am limited, body is limited, mind is limited, intellect is limited, but in spite of the limitations, I have to reach that highest state that is projected in that. And Bhagavad Gita says it is possible. But if it is possible, then how? If I decide that it's not possible, then obviously nothing can be done. So first thing it is, what is that I have done and where I am right now, so that I can redirect my mind. So that is the exercise number 1. And in this week also, the exercise number 2 involves looking into the future. So we have looked in the past and written down all our biography. Now, looking into the future, what is that I want? So sit back and decide yourself, what is that I want for my whole life? At the end of life, tomorrow you go, or day after tomorrow, or month, or year, or another 10 years or 15 years, what is that I want to accomplish? And at the end of those years of time that is allotted, says, what have I accomplished? So when you look back, this is what I wanted to accomplish and I have accomplished. That has to be set out. That means you should have some goal in life. So I don't know what I want to accomplish, then the life will continue in the same way, same day, same thing happening. Yesterday happened, same thing happened, nothing happened. One day we kick the bucket. This is the life of many, many millions of people in this world, and you are also one of them. Is that all we want? Then there is no point in these talks also. For you, these talks are not needed. But only for those who want to set up a goal, say, I want this to achieve. I want to redirect my mind or redirect my life in such a way that this is what I don't want the same routine, but I want to do within my limitations, where I cannot change drastically my routine, but at the same time I have a vision of what I want. So when I look at the Googles and ask, so what kind of goals in life people said, you hear all sorts of things. If you go to Google and you will see, oh, my goal is this, my goal is that, and God says, I want to become a great musician. And one lady writes, says, I want to make sure that my children grow up. That's a goal. That's a mother's goal. So everyone has certain goals. But those goals are within the still time bound. Okay, children grow. That's important for a mother, because as a mother, it's my responsibility to make sure I inculcate proper education, proper value system, proper schooling, and therefore they become a healthy citizens in the world. So all that is essential, but those are still a finite goals. So what happens after the children grow up? If that all my life is after the children go, then my life is nothing. So the problem is, I should have a goal in life for me as I am. What is that? Yes, all other things that are dependent on me, that whom I depend on, all these things are important, and that's relationships and all that we will discuss more in detail. what should be our attitude so that I am unaffected, but at the same time I should have the highest goal in life. Otherwise, I'll be just like anybody else. If I want to be just like anybody else, there is no problem. That's what you will have. But those who want to know, hey, this is my life. I want to accomplish something in such a way that I am going to be happy. I am going to be what I want to achieve. What is that I want? In all pursuits may differ. The details may be differ. But what doesn't differ is what I want is absolute, uninterrupted, inexhaustible happiness. That's what I'm looking for. That's what everybody is looking for. And if that is the goal, say, I can never reach it, you say, because by any process you cannot reach it. So what is the purpose? But that's the purpose is how I can still reach it, that which is unreachable. Because the very purpose of trying itself is the goal of life becomes. Life becomes a continuous struggle. But yet, how can I reach that highest state that Bhagavad Gita emphasizes? That also we'll be discussing that. So what is the essentially Bhagavad Gita talks about? We're going to talk a little bit more. But these are the two exercises that is for this week before we start with the next week class around this time. So what is the goal? Say first write down the biography of myself of up to this point, to have a evaluation of where I am right now and where I am going to head in terms of the future wise. I should set myself a goal for me to reach. And without the goal, I'll be going wherever the wind blows, I'll be going, and the life will be aimless. So that is the most spiritual important exercises. Now we'll look at terms of how is this related to the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita talks about two essential aspects. That's why I said it is Brahma Vidyayam and Yoga Shastram. So Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya sets the highest goal that is to be achieved, and Yoga Shastra is from where I am, how to reach that goal. Wherever you are, whatever circumstance it is, everybody can reach that goal, and that is the vision of Bhagavad Gita also. So in the process, I had to set things, I had to tune myself, I had to change my attitudes in life in order to accomplish that. That was also, we will go through that. So someone asks, what should we do? Or how do you apply? Says, how do I become, I'm very angry, how do I control my anger? I'm very this, I'm very that, how am I change myself? How am I going to, all these aspects will come into picture. How I interact with the people, what should be the attitude, all that. But Gita itself starts with, the first sloka of Gita is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. So the first word itself is Dharma, and the last word itself ends with Mama. So the Mama means my, and the whole in between is discussion of what is Mama Dharma, what is my Dharma. My Dharma means how should I live in this world? What is my goal? What should be my attitude to reach that goal? What should be my path towards that goal is Dharma. And the highest goal is what is Brahma Vidya, is what is Moksha. And between these two, everything else is planned. So this is called Purushartha. Purushartha means the what are that need to be achieved by a Purusha, any human being, as per our scriptures. What are that? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So this is the laid out path for everyone, depending upon where you are, irrespective of where you are. So within whatever situation I have, the situations are different, circumstances are different, the problems that I encounter are different, yet this is the problem. Arjuna faced different problem, but that is Arjuna's problem. But when Krishna answers the situation of what Arjuna has, there is a situation where he addresses from the totality point in terms of, that is, or in a way that it's applicable to everyone in every state. That's why it is universally applicable. And that's what we are going to deal with in terms of what is the dharma aspect of it also. So if you look at the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the Arjuna has his problems, and he has a ragam, sokam, moham. That's what the main problem is, and that's exactly what our problems are as we analyze our problems. What is the problem? Ragam is attachments. The sokam is the suffering as a result of a conflict because of those attachments, and moham is a delusion in the process, and these are the ones that we are suffering through. So if you look at everybody's life, as we examine our own lives in the process, we have to see whether these are really causing problem. Can I live without these problems? Ragam, sokam, and moham. Raga means our likes and dislikes. So when I am interacting with the world, this is causing a problem. I like certain things, I don't like certain things. So this is from my side, but the world has nothing to do with it. World will flow continuously whether I like it or not. Therefore, I am always constantly interacting with my setup of likes and dislikes and the world. So how do I do with this? How do I, because I like certain things and I don't like, but I'm encountering things I don't like also. And I'm encountering things I like also. Whenever I encounter things that I like, I'm very happy. Whenever I encounter things that I don't like it, I'm not happy. So this fluctuation of happiness, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness, and most of the time, the things are not really conducive to my likes. That is what is happening, and that's why we suffer as a consequence. And therefore, how do I turn myself in such a way that this world that is continuously changing, I cannot keep adjusting the world in such a way that it's always situations where always I like. So that I keep adjusting the environment so that I always encounter in such a way that I get happiness out of it. That's not possible, because in the world I cannot keep adjusting. Even if I adjust it, it will change again, because that's the nature of the world. It's called Jagat. That means Jayate Gacchate iti Jagat, that which is continuously changing. Time keeps flowing continuously. But I had to look at these changing things. I am the one who is interacting with these changing things. How should I interact in such a way that I am unaffected by these fluctuating? Therefore, I had to tune my mind. I had to tune myself in such a way that I always have a reasonable interaction without getting affected by the world. That is what the application of Gita is. So application of Gita in my daily life involves not changing anything drastically, but only retuning my mind in such a way that I am not reactive but only active. I can be active but not reactive, because the reaction will push me back in terms of oppressions and depressions and all that, and all my problems comes because of I'm reacting to the situations. So how can I insulate myself from these reactions is all the essence of application of the Gita. So with that long range goal, we try to look at it in terms of these two. Number one, prepare ourselves, our biography of what we have so far, analyzing all my past up to this point. That's the first aspect, to know what's my state of mind and how have been conditioned my mind from the past, because every mind now is a product of the past. So how that past has conditioned me. So I need to know what all things that have happened in the past. I have to recondition or decondition my mind such a way that I am non-reactive for things that are. I am only active. For that, first I need to establish what is that I want to achieve in this life. What is my highest goal in life? And in the process, how do I achieve it? Or how do I prepare myself in such a way that I can accomplish to the maximum possible? So therefore, these are the two exercises that we have to do until we meet the next week around this time. So these are the way we start with Bhagavad Gita, application of the Bhagavad Gita, because we need to have the clear knowledge of what Gita says, and then only we can apply. Without the knowledge, we cannot apply anything at all. And knowledge is most important thing for any action. We have to have a clear understanding before we act. So we have to think and then act, rather than act without thinking. So this is what our life should be. So with that, we will stop this lecture now, and we will meet again next week after you have prepared these two exercises. One is preparation of the autobiography of your own life. Second one is your mission statement. What is that I want to achieve in this life? Because it can be 1 day more, or 2 days more, or 10 days more. But however long I'm going to live, this is what I want. So I should be prepared myself. This is what exactly. And depending upon your life, in what age you are, you have to set it itself in such a way that that is most important from now on. So with that, we will do the Purnamada Sloka. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Harihi Om.